Hi, I'm Professor AE Stevenson. I'm currently an assistant professor of cinema and media studies at the University of Chicago. I am loving being here at the Disco Network to talk about some of the things that are relevant to my research. So my book manuscript that I'm currently working on, Sites of Chaos, Scenes of the Black Social Life, thinks about how Black women and girls have changed the visual language of the internet. So I talked about this kind of theorization that furthers a lot of Black feminist conversations through looking at certain case studies on Vine, TikTok, and Instagram, up to and including the Shade Room, talking about how the Shade Room covers certain things. In my own research, Black feminism is a very important part of my kind of way of grounding myself in what I end up researching or wanting to talk about. So aside from my actual book project, I am also interested in horror studies. I'm also interested in thinking about what do romantic comedies mean. I'm also very interested in phenomenology, film phenomenology specifically, and trying to further the kind of like dearth of Black feminist phenomenological takes. So that's kind of me. I'm really looking forward to this panel today. I'm so glad that I think Dr. Gibson put my name for it to be involved with these other two women that I'm very, very excited to get to talk with and learn more from, Kaitlyn and Jamila View, two people who I've looked up to and learned a lot from online or in studies of the internet. I'm really looking forward to seeing how a number of people across close in generation, but just at different points in these generations, like in elder millennials, or in my case, I think I'm just a millennial, not to be shady. But I think I was interested to see how we're going to be talking about how Black feminism is a frame through which we can talk about things online. And I know within my conversations, my own personal conversation with Dr. Gibson, we talk about these diaspora wars, we talk about the conversations of going 50-50. We love talking about trad wives and incels in our own time. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those conversations will come out today when we're in a room with other people who are not necessarily aware of our own perspectives on these things. I think that the conversation that we'll have today will kind of hopefully show students, either undergrads or graduate students, that the things that they experience online are also valid areas of study and things that many people who are younger will be able to bring into conversation that we are not aware of. It's similar to how people who are the kind of originary scholars of the internet, their concerns were very different and so important in helping us do this kind of scholarship that we do. We look forward to hopefully seeing people see our conversations and developing their own in the future. Okay, so I have two hot takes because I am a Gemini, so I'm always of at least two minds. My first one is going to be kind of more fun personal for me, which is thinking about my current obsession with My Hero Academia, the anime, which is currently in its last season. If you do not see the Deku Dynamite relationship, you don't have media literacy. I do believe many animes have a hard time because of, we can talk about misogyny across many cultures. They have a hard time actually developing female characters in anime. So what you have is an antagonist and a deutagonist who are clearly in love with each other. They're clearly soulmates or intertwined in some sort of way because they only know how to develop male characters in anime. So when you tell me towards the end that the main character who, say for example, dies and is reanimated, and the person he's thinking of when he dies is the other man, you're telling me that when he has the chance to date in the future, when he's not in mortal danger, he wants to date the woman who's only spoken to 3 times? I don't believe it. Okay, second of all, my other take is that trad wives are kink play. They are for a specific group of people, and the supposed sexlessness of the trad wife, because she is a wife, does not protect her from sexuality because she is supposed to have a lot of sex to produce a lot of children. And invariably these things get taken away. So you have the idea of the milkmaid, mommy, trad wife. That aesthetic doesn't really stop you from being sexualized. As a matter of fact, it opens up a new lane of sexualization for people who don't want to be sexualized and do just like that for actual protection. It all ends up becoming the same thing. So you being a child wife doesn't protect you from violence, sexual or otherwise, either by the hands of your husband, your children, or society. As someone who writes about the internet, I don't want to be found. I'm looking forward to finishing this first book so that I don't have to ever write about the internet ever again. Not because I don't think that's valid, but if I write about the internet going forth, I want it to be in article form. I do not want to be connected to the internet for years at a time like I currently am. So I don't want you to find me, because I do find that I live on the internet as the internet is meant to be, as just a regular person who I don't want to be constrained to behave or post in a certain way or with a certain frequency. So I'm so sorry about that, guys. If you find me on this Instagram account, that's it. I don't have, as far as you know, I have no other social media accounts aside from this Instagram account.